Dear neighbour, I know we don't know one another all that well, but I felt it was necessary to drop you a note about the noise. We've shared a wall on this block for nearly 3 years now, and I've seen you around a little. Don't get me wrong, I think you're a really nice guy. But recently the noises that have been coming through the wall that we have to share at night, have been, well, excessive, to say the least. The shrieks and the gasps, the sudden shouts and screaming, asking your dungeon master for mercy? Look, I don't know what you've got going on, mate. That's not my business. But, well, if you could just keep the noise down when I'm trying to get some sleep, I'd appreciate it a lot. Your neighbour, Sam. Dear neighbour, I just wanted to apologise for any insinuations last night. You know, having heard the conversations coming through the wall for the last couple of nights, well, I've realised what the screaming and the dungeon and the master was all about. You're playing D&D. Yeah, I think that's great. I used to be a player myself a long time ago when I had time for it. I think it's great that you've got friends over, although I've never really seen them coming and going. But you've still got to keep the noise down, mate. I got so engrossed listening to you pleading with the night hag for your soul last night that I could hardly get to sleep at all. You're so convincing in character. But I'm on earlies for the next 2 months, so have pity on me, man. Your neighbour, Sam. Dear neighbour. John? I think it's John. I got a letter that came through my door by mistake for you. Seems to be an overdue bill. I popped it through with this note. And I was going to write you a thank you note to say, thanks for being so considerate. The last few nights have been really peaceful. But with all due respect, mate, last night was an absolute joke. I mean, I could understand maybe if it was a Saturday night or something, but a Tuesday? And running your game all the way from midnight right through to sunrise is bang out of order. I don't care how exciting your Nightmare Haunting of the Hag campaign is. I mean, your screams are too realistic. And, the voice of the Night Hag, props to your dungeon master. Her acting is amazing. But it was so chilling that it was starting to sound like it was in my bedroom instead of your living room, as if the noise was travelling through the wall and nestling itself right in the back of my head. This has to stop. I don't want to create bad feeling between us, and we've never had any kind of beef before. But I do have to tell you that if I hear this kind of noise level again after 11 p.m, well, I'm going to have to report you. Fun is fun, but when you share a wall with somebody else, well, you have to know where to draw the line. Your neighbour, Sam. Dear neighbour. What, are you using sound equipment now? Special effects? I don't know how you've managed it, but the sound is coming through my wall in waves. It happened in the middle of the night last night. I was fast asleep, and then I suddenly heard the voice of the night hag, and I knew it was the same one from your game. I couldn't open my eyes. I didn't dare. It was as though she was right beside my face, calling to me, demanding my soul as a price for being an evildoer, just like you. If this is a prank for some web show, then I will be expecting a cut of the profits. I reckon it has to be, by the cold light of day. Answer me, John. Please. Just let me know what on earth is going on. Your neighbour, Sam. Dear neighbour. I don't know if I should send this. It's not like you've replied to any of my other messages. Why should I keep putting notes through the door? Maybe it makes me feel better to know that somebody else is hearing the same things that I'm hearing, feeling the breath on their face in the night, the chill of the air when it hits your shivering, sweat-soaked skin. Is that why you plead with her, John? Is that why you try to bargain? Promise her that you're a good person? I thought I was a good person. But when I hear her voice, I'm not so sure. Right back, John. Tell me how to help you. To help us. Tell me how to stop her. Your neighbour, Sam. Dear neighbour, I can't take it. It must be nonsense. This is all down to you and your stupid game, and I want no part of it anymore. Did you move your game into your bedroom? Just to irritate me? I'm plugging my ears to you, John. To your cries and your hags and your souls and your nightmares. Call off the haunt. It's not funny anymore. Your neighbour, Sam. Dear neighbour, the earplugs aren't working. Why can I still hear her? How are you doing this to me? I know that you heard what she said to me last night about the haunt coming to a close, but I wish I could trust that that means that this game is going to be over soon. Or is it really going to be over, John? I used to play these games myself when I was younger, but I don't ever remember feeling like this. I survived. I knew I was always going to survive. I always killed the night hag or whatever monster I was facing. But she's your hag, not mine. I don't have a sword or a shield. All I have is a neighbour that I never see, constantly hear. All I have is the sound of your voice, helpless, pleading with her for it to stop. Pleading for her to end it all. But that's how she wins. Don't give in to her, John. Fight. Bargain. Plead if you have to. Plead for yourself, John. Plead for both of us. Your neighbour, Sam. Dear neighbour, 3 weeks? What does she mean by 3 weeks? John, I know you've never replied before, but this is the time to do it. I knocked on your door. Just no answer. Are you still in there? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear her? If this thing is going to end in 3 weeks, then I need to know how. Please, tell me how to end it, John. I need to know how it ends. I don't think I can sleep again until I do. Please, John, tell me how to end it. In whatever way we can. Your neighbour, Sam.
Dear Sam, thank you so much for your letters. They've helped me a great deal in piecing things together. This isn't John, but his sister, Fiona. I wanted to tell you this in person, but I've knocked a few times and you don't seem to be at home. I guess you're working those earlies that you mentioned in your letters. Perhaps you've gone away to escape from the noise. I hope you're okay. It sounds from your notes through my brother's door as though you've been driven totally mad for these last few weeks, and I can only apologise profusely. I don't quite know how to write this. I guess I'm still dealing with it myself, but my brother's passed away. I received word about 3 weeks ago, around the time that your last note came through the door. Between your letters and what the doctors tell me, John seemed to be very sick. And, well, he was undergoing some kind of psychotic breakdown. Please, don't blame yourself in any way. I'm sure what you heard sounded perfectly sensible with your background of playing role-play games, but John didn't play those games. He hadn't for years. He had a bad experience with these things in his youth, and I remember him saying over and over again that those night hag things were going to get him. He used to have nightmares about it when we were kids. It's funny how those old memories seem to have come back to him at the end. How the monsters he always denied became real suddenly when his mind became unhinged. I'm so sorry that he and you had to go through that, and I'm sorry we couldn't meet properly and discuss this in person. Maybe a coffee sometime when you're back? I'll leave my number at the bottom of the letter in case you'd like to get details to attend the funeral, but, no pressure. I realise that this is a strange and shocking situation for all of us. Kind regards, Fiona. P.S. Wishing you a good night's sleep at last.
Hey everybody, it's your boy, Mr. Breakdown, bringing you a little bit of an epistolary horror story here in the form of letters. That was Dear Neighbour. I filmed most of that one in a hotel room, and there were genuinely a lot of weird noises happening on the other side of the walls and stuff, so that was kind of a creepy situation to be in general. I hope you enjoyed this next dose of Drag King horror story time. If you did and you want to see me creating looks, talking about the process, talking about everything that I'm creating here on YouTube, and indeed be involved and give me your ideas and your opinions on stuff, then you can find me over at Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Mr. Breakdown, BRAKE, because I'm awkward and I like to spell my name differently. So you can find me over there doing all kinds of makeup and chat and games and all sorts of chaos and silliness, really. Don't forget, you could be supporting me on Patreon if you're somebody who is in a position to do that. You could be watching live concerts and stuff on StageIt, where I'm, instead of storytelling, singing and impersonating other people and bringing my love of music to life. Or you could just be traditionally over on Instagram and Facebook looking at pictures, watching videos like you do here, and generally enjoying snippets of my daily life. There's all kinds of places to follow me online. You know how this works by now, right? But thank you so much to those of you that are consistently watching every week, consistently commenting, enjoying the stories, enjoying the whole journey. I'm not sure how many more of these we're going to make, but I've got quite a few in the back pocket for now over the next couple of months, so I'm hoping to continue this journey for quite a while yet, and keep entertaining you with some of the most fantastical stories from my collection. If any of you have been wondering, by the way, or been confused by the fact that the stories are by Casey Finn, that's also me. That's my name as a writer, which I have been for a good 10 years or so before I became a drag king. So that's where that comes from, the two halves of my personality coming together perfectly here to provide entertainment for you every week in BD style. See you for the next one.